This comes to us from Yahoo.com News. Out of Santa Fe, New Mexico, a New Mexico police officer who adopted a child from a pregnant woman he found using heroin in what has been upheld as an alternative to abortion is pictured in uniform on an anti-abortion billboard without his permission, superiors say. Albuquerque police officer Ryan Holitz appears on a billboard along an interstate that runs through the city, along with the words, "My favorite right is life." The images include two of him holding his daughters, including one daughter he adopted from a couple he found shooting heroin while on patrol in 2017. Holitz also helped raise money to find housing for the girls' biological parents while they completed a drug rehab program in 2018.
Albuquerque police officer Ryan Holitz gained national attention after adopting the baby of a drug-addicted homeless couple last year. Today, Baby Hope's biological parents continue to turn their lives around. News 13's Francesca Washington has an update on their road to recovery.
From City Hall to the White House, Albuquerque police officer Ryan Holitz, Baby Hope, and their unique story have received widespread recognition.
I was really nice that he did that. There's too bad there's not more people like that out there.
Now nearly 90 days sober, it's Baby Hope's biological parents, Crystal Champ and Tom Key, who are getting the attention.
It's amazing what you can do if you put your mind to something, and want to do better for yourself.
The heroin-using woman was pregnant at the time Holitz found her, and she agreed to give up the girl for adoption after the birth instead of abortion. Anti-abortion activists have held up Holitz's adoption of the girl as an alternative to abortion, including the grandmother of his other daughter, Ethel Mayharg. She is executive director of Right to Life in New Mexico, the anti-abortion group that used his image on the billboard. The Albuquerque Police Department says Holitz declined the group permission to use the image of him in uniform because it would violate policy. The group used the image anyway without permission and contrary to the wishes of a police officer who has distinguished himself for his integrity, police spokesman Gilbert Gallegos said. Mayharg told local TV station KRQE in an edited interview, "That's not true. Officer Holitz never told me that I couldn't do that." Now, it's unclear who took the photos, which are used without attribution on a number of anti-abortion websites. Albuquerque pastor Dewey Moed, who used them in a blog post last year, said, "I think they came from Ethel or from New Mexico Right to Life." Holitz has participated in political rallies and even spoke at the 2020 Republican National Convention, but he did not wear a uniform or his badge. Gallegos, the police spokesman, said he hadn't seen the images or the partisan blog posts, and he couldn't immediately say if they violated department policy. Mayharg did not return messages left with her staff Wednesday, who said she was traveling. Well, she probably is. A staff member said her comments in the television station lacked context, but declined to send a copy of the interview she said she had recorded. So here's one where a police officer took some pictures, some photos, and he was in his uniform. He thought it was just personal photos, and thought, hey, cops take photos all the time in uniform. But when they use it in an anti-abortion ad and it could violate policy, he's like, I didn't give him permission to do that. So I don't think he's going to really be held accountable for that. I don't think it wasn't his fault. It was done without his knowledge. It's not something he did, like he didn't like going on Facebook and typing a post. He didn't. Coughed in my hand. And I'm going to wash it with that stuff, D whatever Iser. But he didn't give them permission. He says he didn't give them permission to use it on the billboard up top. Now she says, well, he didn't tell us we couldn't use it. I mean, it's not like you're using. I don't know. Is it the same as using it on YouTube under fair use? For a news story, because people do that all the time. Under fair use, they get these public photos and they use them for, news stories. But to use it on a billboard along the highway, what do some of you internet social media lawyers think? Huh? And hand sanitizer is what I was thinking of. Yeah, see, I'm going to use hand sanitizer. What do all of you think? I'm not wearing a diaper because I'm the only one here.
Hollett's first encountered Tom and Crystal last September while responding to a theft call that turned out to be a false alarm. He approached the homeless couple as he was leaving the scene.
Hello, folks. So I'm not going to lie, it looks like you guys are getting ready to shoot up over here. Are you pregnant?
Crystal gave birth 3 weeks later, and the Holletts welcomed baby Hope into their family. And Tom and Crystal were welcomed into a live-in rehabilitation center after receiving a full scholarship.
I've also kind of adopted Tom and Crystal as like my brother and sister, and so yeah, I've grown my family quite substantially.
According to Hollett's Facebook post, Tom graduated from the program last week, and Crystal is getting ready for her graduation. Many commenting on how happy the couple looks and sending their well wishes for continued success. Francesca Washington, KRQE News 13.
Officer Holletts also started a GoFundMe for the couple for when they finish their rehab. He's been able to raise nearly $24,000.